thank you, and thank you all the organizers. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do this a bit more personally. I have now worked more than 30 years in energy research and innovation funding, and I still remember starting out in one of the Swedish energy agencies and being involved in granting funding for a project on artificial photosynthesis. This was, of course, then far from application. It was really more of an organic chemistry project. But it was thought then that it was really important to have a diverse portfolio. And the field sort of took off. There was a Swedish consortium for research on artificial photosynthesis established in 94. And today we can see a field with much activity and collaboration, and not least the SUNERGY projects. As a parenthesis, this makes me think a bit about how to fund challenge-driven research and innovation. Politicians are, of course, expected to be brave and persistent and look to the future, and civil servants in agencies and research councils also. And of course, researchers and scientists themselves, long-term, truly inventive research and innovation is needed. But there is a problem. Politicians, agencies, researchers also need results and feedback, positive feedback and success. And then it is easier to look towards safer projects, incremental improvements, scaling up and deploy known solutions. And you can perhaps be more sure that you will have positive results, and to show that the funding program and the budgets allocated are worthwhile, and that's necessary. But it cannot be the exclusive focus for meeting our long-term, really great challenges, the climate, the energy, world poverty, food, and so on. So we also need the disruptive technologies and solutions, things that are truly new. Even though it's high-risk funding and a politician may have nothing to show for his initiative after a 4-year period of office, that is really a central challenge. Safe and predictable, or high-risk, high-potential return? And the answer is, of course, that or is not the answer, it's and. Both are of course needed. And I don't pretend that this very small project that I started out with working on has really been the contributor to this, but I'm very happy to see the broad field on solar fuels today. As you perhaps know, Sweden has ambitious goals on climate, energy, and growth. Parliament has decided that Sweden should reach net zero climate emissions by 2045 and negative emissions after that. We are to have 100% fossil-free electricity supply by 2040. We will safeguard and increase efficiency, and the 3 pillars of the EU energy policy: security of supply, competitiveness, and ecological sustainability. And we do have programs for research and innovations. What we don't have is sort of planned economy pathways or detailed roadmaps for individual technologies selected with timelines and outcomes. There are some planning goals for wind, but we are wary of picking the winners beforehand. We want to see which options are really turning out to be the most competitive and best. The barriers should be addressed according to cost effectiveness potential at any given time. Having said this, though, we do have an electrification strategy and an electrification committee. So electrification seems to be the main hope forward towards a sustainable energy system. But as Anne said, that cannot be the whole thing. We also need fossil-free fuels for perhaps shipping, for long transport, long distance road transport, for aviation, for several industrial uses and so on. So we do have to have more legs to stand on, not only electrification. And this also fits very well with, if I say, secondary goals. Our energy research and innovation is expected to lead to a sustainable energy system, but also towards exports, employment, economic development, and so on. And with the ambitions to contribute to the global development, there are more things than electricity to look at. And the solar fuels track is one of the more important ones. International cooperation is vital. It gives the opportunity to engage the top researchers around large and complex challenges, to work much quicker and much more cost efficient. So the solar fuels SUNERGY project and the mission innovation collaboration and the EU collaboration, the stage it is in at the moment seems to me to be very good, very interesting, and in a very creative pre-competitive phase. Of course, if or when I should say, solutions approach commercial development and products and services, we need to peel off and do commercial projects, but that's expected, and it's sought, I should have said. So just winding up there, I'm very happy to see what has happened to solar energy fuels, and I am very much looking forward to see what happens next. And that was my little contribution, and I managed with 9 minutes and 15 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you very